Hello there, welcome back to the Ogre, the old Git Reacts, Reviews, Off Times, Reminiscences. If you've seen this album cover, it needs no introduction, you know what's coming. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this today is because when you get to my time of life, you find that half your time is spent shifting crap you don't use anymore into places that, or ever-decreasing volumes of space just to make room. And that is the case with a lot of my CDs. The vinyl is already packed away, probably never to see light of day again until my kids rescue it upon my demise. The CDs are now ended up in the same place. So as I was bundling numerous CDs into the attic, this on one pile, this was on top. It struck me that I've not listened to it for a very, very, very long time. So I had a little listen, not the CD, but online, and was reminded of the impact it had upon me when I first bought it when it came out. And so I think it's my favourite Immortal album, to be honest. The stuff that came after, where they got more proficient, if you like, and or at least more varied in their composition, doesn't have the same effect on me. I do like the rapid and the more straightforward stuff. And so today we're going to be doing one of the tracks, and I've picked one which has a bit more colour than some of the rest. They're all a blast from start to finish, more or less. And shall we use the term grim and frostbitten? But there is one or two tracks that have a little bit of a weak winter sunshine on them, and so we're going to do Circling Above in Time Before, and why not? It's good to still detect the theatrics of this band, even when they're at the most heads down, no nonsense, mindless boogie-ish. Even if it's just the vocals that provide that theatre, but there are, as I say, motifs within this song that do provide a little bit more variance than other tracks. But yes, it takes you back, doesn't it? And when I first heard this, I don't think I'd heard anything like it. It was just, in some way, I wouldn't say it was unlistenable when I first heard it, but it was a challenging listen, because it was relentless, and it was very dark, and there was no relief from it. You know, other bands, even if they had the same sort of density to them or darkness to them, had little sort of rays of light popping in and out, and a wider palette of the grey or the black, whereas this album tends to be black in palette from start to finish. do love the cascading riff in that bit there. Now, bear in mind, this is probably Immortal at their most straightforward. It does strike me that even if you wanted to emulate them, people don't. They don't get it right when they sort of try and not imitate or pay tribute or even show their influence from Immortal. Immediately recognisable, regardless of any sort of what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? You know, when you get to my age, thoughts come in and go before I can even say them. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is the more people that emulate you, probably the least recognisable to those that don't know you. But it doesn't stand here because Immortal, regardless of how many people try to sound like them, and I don't think that many people do, not many people succeed in it anyway, Immortal will always sound like Immortal, which sounds stupid, but what I'm trying to say is that they are hard to mimic, to be honest, because the elements you have to get just right, even when they're as straightforward in the sound as they are on this album. So there you go. Nothing struck me about listening to this album again was the way the tracks just, this one doesn't particularly, but the rest of the tracks tend to just finish abruptly and into the next. There's no sort of segue at all. So, excuse me, that final quadrant of the song there was the bit I was alluding to at the beginning, where you got those, it's like a little swarm of bees buzzing towards the end. Very effective, but as I say, enough to break up that deep black, that fuliginous sound that is evident here. It just brings a little bit of if not light, a lighter shade into the music. Yes, absolutely relentless album, and still holds its head high now. I think you'd have to agree. And if you, it's hard to look at that. It was hard at the time. It's hard now to look at the album cover and not smile and wonder what lies within. Even when you know what lies within, you still expect. I know there's videos that will have you chuckling from start to finish, but the music itself is quite serious, despite the album cover. Anyway, I don't need to tell you any of this, because if you're watching this, you probably know all about Immortal, and the wealth of memes, videos, and things to say about Immortal without me adding any more. So that'll do. Click your bollocks. Catch you next time. Cheerio.